In the heart of the city, high above the street, Catherine Morgan stood in silence. The penthouse light flickered softly, casting long shadows across the sleek, polished floors. She held her phone tightly, her hands trembling, not from fear, but from something much colder: betrayal. On her screen, a hidden camera recording played. The image was crystal clear. Vanessa, the woman her son was about to marry, sat in an exclusive lounge, a glass of champagne delicately balanced in her manicured fingers. She was laughing, but the words that followed sent an icy chill down Catherine's spine. Ethan, he thinks I love him? Please, I'm here for the money. The moment that ring is on my finger, his mother will be in a retirement home, and I'll be running Morgan Enterprises. Catherine inhaled sharply, her grip tightening on her phone. She has spent years raising a son with kindness, a son who trusted so easily. But this was unforgivable. Her decision was instant. Vanessa would never be the wife of her son. But Ethan, he had to learn the truth the hard way. And so, Catherine removed her diamond earrings, set down her gold watch, and picked up something else entirely: a cleaner's uniform. She would become a ghost in her own empire, watching, waiting, testing every woman who dared come close to her son. The next morning, Morgan Enterprises buzzed with energy. Executives worked with purpose. Assistants carried steaming coffees, and no one paid attention to the woman who stepped through the grand entrance, dressed in a simple cleaner's uniform. Catherine moved unseen, her presence unnoticed among the elite. She watched as Vanessa walked through the office like she owned it. The way he greeted Ethan with a soft, sweet smile, yet rolled her eyes the moment he turned away. The way she ignored the janitor, struggling to carry a heavy trash bin, but laughed loudly at the CEO's jokes. Then there was Emma, a young assistant, modestly dressed, working late into the night. She didn't hesitate when she saw Ethan stressed. She slid a coffee toward him and said simply, "Take it." No one makes good decisions on an empty stomach. No expectations, no hesitation, just kindness. But Vanessa was no fool. She began to notice the cleaner who always seemed to be around. "Who is that woman?" she whispered to security. "Find out everything about her." But Catherine was 2 steps ahead. She wasn't just watching Vanessa anymore. She was setting a trap. Catherine placed a single test: an envelope filled with documents that could be worth millions. She left it on Ethan's desk unattended. Vanessa's perfectly polished nails slid over the envelope. Her eyes flickered with temptation, but just as she reached for it, Ethan walked in. Instantly, she smiled, pretending she hadn't noticed it. Emma, however, barely glanced at it. Instead, she carefully placed it where it belonged, untouched. No hesitation, no second thought. A week later, the grand charity gala was in full swing, guests in shimmering gowns, champagne glasses clinking. Vanessa stood beside Ethan, smiling triumphantly. She had won, until the screen behind her flickered to life. Her own voice echoed through the room. "Ethan, he thinks I love him? Please." Gasps, whispers. Vanessa's smile faltered. "Who did this?" she demanded, her voice shaking. And then Catherine stepped forward, no longer a cleaner, no longer hidden. She was radiant, powerful, untouchable, and her voice was steady as she spoke. I did, because I don't let parasite marry my son. Ethan turned to Vanessa, his face unreadable. Is this true? He asked, but he already knew the answer. Vanessa stammered, grasping for lies, but there was nowhere left to hide. Emma, standing quietly among the crowd, watched the scene unfold. She hadn't known about the test. She hadn't even realized Catherine was watching. She was just herself. Catherine glanced at Emma. A soft smile tugged at her lips. Now, my son, let's talk about what real love looks like. Vanessa was escorted outside. Ethan looked at Emma, really looked at her for the first time, and somewhere in the background, Catherine watched, satisfied because she had saved her son, not from loneliness, but from illusion. Moral lesson: true love is not measured by wealth, but by character. Greed may thrive for a moment, but truth always wins. A mother's love is the strongest force against deception. The end.